Alright, in this one, let's talk about some interesting features about Fusion. Some things that are kind of pretty noteworthy. First of all, by the way, we haven't mentioned it much, but you want to be hitting save every so often in your creation. Now, since this is something that I haven't named thus far, I might need to name it. And I might say demo part _1. I like to use underscores instead of spaces whenever I can, just the way I do. Anyway, you can locate it. Of course, this is a cloud-based, so you notice that it is not located on my computer. It is actually being stored in the cloud associated with Fusion. That is one of the limitations with Fusion, the fact that it's cloud-based. Your stuff isn't necessarily on your computer, which can be problematic. So kind of keep that in mind. Anyway, I'll hit save here. Actually, there's some more features. I can actually expand this out if I want to. Hit save. And so now my part actually has a name, and it is located somewhere. I can track it now. And I probably should have done this earlier, because if I had a crash, I may have lost some of my creation. Another neat little feature is your timeline here. See this down here at the bottom? You can actually grab and drag this, and it takes you back through the creation of your part. Adjustments made when fillets were kicked in, and notice the symbols match up with the tools you're using. For example, the fillet command was there, chamfer command was there, sketches were made, some extrusions were done, and this can be useful for you in part recreation. It comes in a little bit more handy when you get into more advanced work, but it's a pretty neat feature. Again, never forget that your orbiting tools are a big part of what you do, and all this stuff can be added to and created and modified over time. So again, if your tools look a little bit different than what I'm showing here on the screen, don't worry. It's pretty much the same process. Just a few more bells and whistles will be added to it. I do want to show you the inspect tool though. So this, you got your measure 1, but you got measure, interference, curvature, draft analysis, map analysis, and a lot of analysis stuff that's a little bit advanced for us right now, but the measure tool is something we like. Measuring tool is a little bit funky sometimes to measure with, so let's just check it out. I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to click on, let's say, here, and it's going to give me a readout between the distance of this plane, the top plane, and this plane. So it wasn't so much about what points I clicked on as what planes of existence I clicked on. So for example, if I want to measure from here to there, there's the value. So I can, whoops. So I can keep that process going. Let's go from here perhaps to here. And it tells me, see how it gave me like a weird number right there? It was misinterpreting what I'm after. I'm after this distance to maybe this distance. And still not getting what I want. So let's keep trying this. There. That plane. How about this plane? Yep, there we go. We've got a linear value. Looks like it's got a little bit of an angle to it, so that's not really cool. It's not exactly what I want. I'm really trying just from there to there. So I'm going to hit it again. There. To maybe there. Ah, look at that. Now I've got a better readout. I've got basically the length and angle, not the angle, but actually the length based on the angle, and the actual linear distance from this plane to this. So the inspect tool, or the measure 1, is your feature to get some measurements off of a creation that you may have access to, or just forgotten what you did. You can always read that stuff there. Notice that my rectangle here was created just sort of freehand, so I've got a funky number of like 46.827. So we might need to keep that in mind. Sometimes when you think you designed something to a certain size, you may later on find that you didn't. This is the way that you find out. Now there's other filters you can go. You can go select body and select the component so that you can filter the way that it's selecting. It reduces some of your options. And of course you can restart your selection. You can even show snap points as the way that you actually clicked on. Anyway, take a moment or two, play around with some of this, make sure you save your work, check out the timeline, and do a little bit of measuring to make sure you got the hang of it and you can check your work. Pause the video and do that now. Alright, so that's a few little minutes there, a few little tools to keep in mind. Let's just end there and pick up next time. We'll see ya.